This is Terry Escobar at Santa Clara University, and you are watching Excel, Relative versus Absolute Cell Addressing. In this department budget, we need to create totals for the amount spent in July, August, and September, the budget balance after spending that amount of money, the percent of the budget spent for each of our accounts, mail, supplies, IT, etc., and the percent to total. How much did we spend as it relates to the entire budget? First, let's go ahead and figure out how much we've spent in the 3 months, July, August, and September. My answer cell is G4, and I might be tempted to go to AutoSum. But I can't use AutoSum like that because it includes the budget amount. So I'm going to hit Escape. Instead, I'm going to teach Excel what the contributing cells are, D4 through F4 with the answer cell of G4. AutoSum. And now I can autofill this math. Now, typically we drag the math down using the autofill handle. This time I'm just going to double click. Double click allows you to fill it down as long as there's values running to the left-hand side of it. Let me just get rid of that 0 for a sec. Now, Excel's not too happy. It wants to give us an explanation saying that we're omitting adjacent cells with numeric values in them. But we know that that's fine, so we'll ignore this error. We don't want to include the budget amount. Now let's calculate the budget balance. This starts with an equal sign. It's simply the amount that we were given to spend for mail minus how much we've spent so far, C4 minus G4. And we can autofill that down. Next, let's look at the percent of budget spent. How much have we spent so far as a percentage compared to our total budget amount? My answer cell is going to be I4, and that's going to be equals what we've spent so far in G4 divided by our original budget amount in C4. So we can see that for the category mail, we have spent approximately 43% of our budget so far. I'm going to autofill that down. And if we take a look at another budget amount like IT support, we can see that we've spent approximately 88%. Now let's calculate a totals row for the budget amount, July, August, September, total spent, budget balance, AutoSum, and now we have the total for total spent. So we've spent so far $27,157, and we want to know next in column J, how much is that $432 as it relates to the grand total? So we can do simple math equals the 432 in G4 divided by the grand total in G12. And so that is roughly 1.59% or 1.2%. But when I autofill this down, relative cell addressing is at work, and relative cell addressing says, hey, if you're going to autofill this down 2 rows, I'm going to look at the data associated with 2 rows down, equals G6 divided by G14, and G14 is blank. If we go down to our IT support, of course it goes to equals G9, the amount we've spent so far of $6,150, but it's dividing by G17, which is blank. We have to have a way to turn off relative cell addressing. It's working for the numerator, but not for the denominator. So I'm going to erase these errors. I'm going to go back up to my original formula equals G4 divided by G12. And absolute cell addressing is turned on by adding dollar signs to the column and row reference. So I'm going to hit the shortcut key, Function key 4 or F4, and enter. So now this formula reflects equals relative G4 divided by absolute G12. The absolute reference should not move off of G12 for any of our calculations. So when I autofill that down, now the numerator is moving as a relative cell reference, and the denominator is anchored as an absolute cell reference. Thank you for watching Excel Relative versus Absolute Cell Addressing.